everyone, this is Overmind, and welcome back to another StarCraft 2 replay cast. Today I have for you a diamond level ZvT, and spawning in the top right side of the map, in red, our fearsome Zerg player, Celphy from AEIO, and not you, he almost got me there, that's good. And spawning in the bottom left side of the map, our terrifying Terran player, BaouM. There's some very gentlemanly discussion going on about spelling and grammar happening here. This is all very nice to watch. We do see this SCV out here. He seems like kind of an early scout, but maybe he just wanted to look at that watchtower for a moment. Not quite sure. It looks like he's avoiding the Overlord though, so maybe there's going to be some sort of proxy. This would be a very bad place to put it since the Overlords are going to fly right over here. Probably could scoot it on over this way somewhere and then float on up here to this area on the right side of the base. Very, very gentlemanly conversation though from Celphy, who's just going to go ahead and drone on up. It seems like normally around now we would see either an expo or a pool or hereabouts at the very least, but it looks like he's going to go ahead and take a geyser. And this is going to get spotted pretty much right away, still with very nice conversation, very nice manners. How do you like the maps? With punctuation and everything. And BaouM just saying none, with the little face. Very focused at this point on this proxy, which is going to float on up. We'll see what comes on out of this. And it looks like it's going to be Reapers! Reapers are going to come on out of this. Your proxy is ill-placed, says Celphy. Ovi will always go above. That's very gentlemanly. Usually when I see a proxy, I am not this excited about it. I get very mad. I'm not explaining to them why it's bad at all. He's going to go ahead and start his pool. He says that he went ahead and forgot that pool, though. That's unfortunate. Maybe. First Reaper is going to pop on out, and unfortunately the drones are going to have to contend with this all by their lonesome. See him being pulled off the line. Microed back a little bit, back and forth, back and forth. Gonna go ahead and try and get some hits on that Reaper, which they do, although I think it's a pretty good chance that he'll be able to get some kills off. More Reapers are going to be joining this one. There's one kill there. Lots and lots of micro going on around, but the pool is now done. It looks like a queen's going to go ahead and start, which is going to be great because it will be able to add larvae, which can be zerglings, but also will be great since it's sort of a beefier unit and can do some damage to these Reapers to help scare some of them away, hopefully. Lots of mining time being lost as these drones have to go back and forth. Some Zerglings out now, able to chase the Reapers away for a moment. They are going to have vision of the high ground, though, by virtue of this barracks, so they're going to be able to shoot up at these Zerglings, even from down below. Queen is up. She's going to vomit right on that hatchery right away, which is probably the correct choice there. And going to go ahead and engage some of these Reapers. Reapers, as they're damaged, are being microed back. Zergling's going to try and help out this queen. One Reaper does go down, which is a step in the right direction for Celphy. I don't know if engaging these without the queen is going to be the correct choice, but at the very least, holding along this edge here so that they can't get to the mineral line is going to be incredibly helpful for Celphy if he's going to defend against this. Celphy's going to go ahead and build up another queen, which is probably a very good choice, since that will be able to help defend against this, and then, assuming that he does defend, he could quickly expand and have a queen right ready for that new expansion. Speed is being researched, just a little over half done. Speed would be very, very nice against these. We see one dead Zergling fall there. Killing this barracks off would similarly be a very good thing for Celphy. He can only be in a certain position, though, and not have those Reapers hitting him. Another Reaper going to rally into the base, right past the queen. A little bit of attacking and running back and forth from Celphy, losing a couple of Zerglings sort of needlessly because of that high ground vision. And there's Speed finishing up. That's going to turn the tides pretty significantly, I would imagine. Likely he'll want to go ahead and retreat this barracks. Run these Reapers back. Looks like the barracks is going to start to smoke just a little bit. The Queen's going to be able to take this out pretty handily, I imagine. It's going to be a small counterattack from Speedlings running across the map. Reapers fleeing up into the safety of the base. We'll note that there is an expansion for celphy. Zerglings are going to come on up. BaouM able to shoo them away with his Reapers. BaouM has not been idle. Just so we know, there's a starport with a tech lab, factory tech lab, and a tech lab on an extra starport. He's researching cloak. It's gonna be banshees! It's gonna be banshees. Unfortunately, celphy, as far as I know, does not have anything that really can shoot upwards, which is going to be a big problem. I do not see any spore crawlers hanging around here. Does have an overlord here, has a zergling here, and an overlord here, so he will be positioned to see a decent amount of things coming out of this base. It's possible that banshees could sneak by him over here, but hopefully he will see that incoming and build some spore crawlers. Looks like he's going to go ahead and make some zerglings. This base is coming on up. This queen is nice, sitting down here and puking up larvae onto this hatchery, so that's going to be good. Scan going down to see what celphy is up to. Celphy not getting a baneling or roach warren or anything like that that I am aware of, so it looks like he's going to be on zerglings for a little while. He is continuing to mine gas though, so we'll see if he's planning on going for maybe a faster lair or something. Looks like he's going to go ahead and take a third at this point. And he is going to go ahead and make a couple spore crawlers. That's going to be incredibly helpful against the banshees. Probably just as a preventative measure because there are just two here, but let's see here. Over here we do have BaouM going to go ahead and take his own natural expansion. He has some defenses here at the front to make sure that nothing terrible comes on in and runs in his base. Producing siege tanks. He's got a banshee here, already has cloak done, another banshee joining it. It looks like they're going to be moving out across the map. He actually, I don't think he's going to have a huge bioforce joining this since he only has this one barracks for the moment. And that's going to be somewhat odd against zerg. It looks like he's going to go very, very heavy mech, and those are certainly units that can deal damage, but you definitely want to be aggressive with them to prevent the zerg from being able to attack or even to harass or counterattack, because mech units are very slow, and zerg units are incredibly mobile. These banshees are going to be spotted right here, I believe, yes. So looks like a roach warren is coming up. We'll see if there are any additional spore crawlers that come on up to help with this. Banshees are... oh, they're just waiting out here. That's nice. Looks like a Viking did take out the Overlord here on this side. Banshee's just kind of chilling over here. celphy is a little bit supply blocked with that one Overlord taken out. Here come the Banshees, and there immediately is the Overseer Cocoon. Probably could have done that a bit quicker since he should have seen them hitting his Zerglings in the center of the map. Looks like there are going to be some hits going on from these Banshees. But they are uncloaked, they are revealed because of this Overseer sitting right here, spotting everything. Overseers sure do morph in fast. And then the queens are back to vomiting larvae. And we do have this this lair up here, so he can go up into his lair tech. Looks like he's going to go ahead and get some upgrades. Over here we do continue to see this very mech-oriented build, Ravens. And I do love Ravens, but I don't know if the mobility factor is going to be a problem or not. For BaouM, I imagine it would be, since Zergling harassment on expansions could be pretty deadly. I imagine he'd want to have a big push somewhere critical and force celphy into a position where he has to defend in order to make these very heavy hitting but slow units worth it. or at the very least to add on a whole bunch of Marines to support these big, expensive, gas-heavy units. Having support under these would really add a lot of heft to this army. But he does have his natural expansion pretty well fully saturated. Zergling here for scouting purposes. Looks like these units are going to move on out and maybe do a little harassment at the third. These Banshees are going to get off some pot shots on these units, which cannot fire up. Queen's going to go ahead and attack back a little bit. There are a couple of them here, which is going to help out a bit. But of course, Banshees do have this cloak here, and there is this nice point defense drone, which is going to make them even more effective. Queen's not quite sure what to do with that point defense drone there. Forces being recalled and then sent back out. This base is under fire, taking a decent amount of damage. The Queen's finally able to get rid of that point defense drone and sort of scoot those on off. A decent amount of Celphy's army is sort of amassing in front of this natural expansion. Celphy's Overlord dangerously close to this missile turret, but apparently not in range, which is somewhat lucky. Looks like there is going to be a command center going down here. Although these units, you see it pretty quickly on... Oh my gosh, there's going to be... Oh, microwave! Oh, oh, that was close. These units are going to be chased off by these air units, but I don't know that there's enough air here to prevent these very fast ground units from running in, making an attack, and then darting back out before their losses are too high. At the very least, this is going to be very, very annoying for BaouM. But again, I think his mobility as he expands away from this central location is going to be a big problem if he doesn't attack soon. You can see that he's getting some Hellions, which are going to be a bit faster, or at least one Hellion. I'm getting Blue Flame for that, which is nice, but I still just don't see his mobility not being a problem for him. Here we see a little bit of harassment from these units. This is going to be a planetary, but I don't know if it'll survive that long. We'll see what happens here. It looks like it's going to get cancelled and lifted. Turret gonna go down. Several of the SCVs gonna also go down. Refinery gonna go down, and then the army's going to retreat. And while celphy might have taken some losses there, that's certainly pretty annoying for BaouM. celphy moving on up to his 4th base, which BaouM is going to see with this scan here. But definitely being 2 bases up on your opponent is the way to be if you can. Looks like this base is going to try and land again, and this command center is going to move on out. That Overlord being killed there, and this Zergling's going to spot that right away though, so celphy's going to be in a good position to harass this very, very slow force. And here comes some additional harassment, this trying to morph into a planetary again, but then lifting back up. celphy able to retreat with, I believe, no losses. Looking at the army supply, we can see that it is in celphy's favor at this point. And worker supply as well. BaouM is just not making enough things overall. We see the production tab is pretty blank for him aside from those Banshees, which he seems pretty into. There's a Hellion and a Viking, but that's certainly not going to be enough production to sustain this. I'm not sure why he's not just adding bio to this, if only to have it. Just because he does not have enough things. celphy's money is getting pretty dang high. Not sure what his larva count is, but possibly adding a macro hatch, possibly trying to get more gas with this extra base, which it looks like he's doing, is going to be helpful. I think this is going to have to be cancelled as well. I don't know if this is going to make it to be a planetary, and it is. It's lifted, but it's burning. I don't know if it's going to make it without just burning to death. We see the health dropping and dropping. Mule is called down to repair. Oh, just in the nick of time. Oh, the mule is killed off. Very good by celphy. BaouM is going to go ahead and retreat this over to this SCV, which is going to try and repair it. these Banshees going to be able to shoo off these roaches. This base has finally managed to make it into a planetary, but there are no missile turrets, and if you look at the production pad, celphy does appear to have a spire somewhere since he's making mutas. Yep, there it is. He's even getting upgrades for them. And while something like Thor's in this mech build would be very good versus mutas, mutas are, again, way more mobile, and are going to be able to take out these Banshees as soon as they decloak. So this base is probably going to die. I don't know that BaouM has any chance in this game. At this point, he's just not producing enough things, and his things aren't mobile enough versus a zerg force, and there's the GG and the end of the game. So congrats to celphy. Thank you so much for submitting. If you would like to see me cast your games, please feel free to send me an email at noobcrafted@gmail.com. That's NOOBCRAFTED @gmail.com. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a good night.